Hey guys, it's called TCG Cardcast, and today I'm going to bring you my 40 card competitive hero deck profile. So let's get into it. So before we start this deck profile, I really quickly want to say, I know it's not normal for me to do a competitive or even non-character deck profile, but I just really wanted to do this one because this deck, I'm super excited about it. I think this deck is super smart. Me and a friend came up with the idea. I'm sure other people have come up with this as well because it's not that difficult to think of. Yeah, so essentially this is just heroes with the Grandmerge, but it can give heroes a negate, which is kind of important, and it's just, to me it's just more fun to play. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into the deck. We're going to start off with the extra deck because it is the point where most people are going to turn away from the deck, and I just figured we'll get this out of the way right now. There is one card in the extra deck that I ordered. It hasn't come in yet, but I really wanted to do this video, so I just decided to go ahead and do it anyways. So the first card in this deck is Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. He's super, super important for this deck, guys. You cannot sleep on Flame Wingman. He is so important for this deck because it's, well, I mean, you can play something else instead of Wingman. You can play Infernal Wing, but you need to be able to search two vanilla heroes. So you can Thunder Giant if you want, that's possible. I just like to play Wingman because it's my favorite Elemental Hero card from the extra deck. Then we have one copy of Grandmerge. That's why you need to be able to search two Elemental Heroes. You need to be able to make Grandmerge for this deck to properly function. We have one copy of Sunriser, one copy of Absolute Zero, and then we have our second target for Grandmerge. So you can use this to search the materials, and then you can make Grandmerge, and then you can use Grandmerge to summon this, or you can even use Grandmerge to summon anything else in your deck. But one of my favorite searches for Grandmerge is Nebula Neos. Nebula Neos is just one of my favorite searches that you can do, or not searches, summons off of Grandmerge. That's why I play it. Of course, we have the Bane. This is my negate, so you can use Grandmerge to summon Contrast Hero because it counts as an elemental hero at all times, and it does get a once per turn Veiler, which is really, really nice. So that's why I play that. And then the last like normal fusion card we have here is Dystopia. Then I have one copy of Darklaw, one copy of Acid, and one copy of Diane. The extra deck for this deck is pretty tight. If there were any changes I could make, I'd honestly swap out Diane because I'm almost never mask changing my my one Earth monster. So if I had to change anything out, it'd be Masty or Diane, in all honesty. Then we have one copy of Wonder Driver. Wonder Driver is really important for extending your plays in this deck now that we don't have the third Malicious. This is a copy of Infernal Devicer. If you guys don't know what it does, when it's link summoned, you can reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck that requires two very specific hero monsters, and then you can add them both. You can add up to two of them to your hand. So that's why we're playing our Flame Wingman, because Infernal Deviser will search Burst Lady and Featherman, and then we can use those two to make Sunriser. Sunriser searches Miracle, and then we use Miracle to make Grandmerge. So yeah, that's the combo. Or you could even just use Grandmerge to make, or Miracle Fusion to make Flame Wingman. It's also very, very possible. And then our last two cards, we of course have a Cross Crusader for extra searching and a Dread Decimator for those extra attack points. On to the main deck, of course, we have to start off with Elemental Heroes, Avian and Burstinatrix, or Featherman and Burst Lady. It all depends on whether you're cultured or not. We have 3 copies of Best Boy. Of course, we need 3 copies of Stratos. He's super duper important. We have 2 copies of Shadow Mist. We have 1 copy of Liquid Soldier. Liquid Soldier doesn't come up as often as in a normal hero deck. Of course, this is not a normal hero build. I would suggest, if you want to win more games, to play the normal hero variant that doesn't play Grandmerge. This deck doesn't even play the Vision Hero fusions, just because I just never need to make them. If you guys want to play a normal hero build that uses Liquid Soldier, don't use this build. This build is for more of a fun win. This deck still wins, it's just more of a fun build than a competitive build. So yeah, it still wins. So that's the important part. It still wins. Then we have 1 Solid Soldier and 1 Honesty Neos. This is just the Elemental Hero package. It's a bit bigger than normal thanks to Featherman and Burst Lady, but it's still a hero package nonetheless, and I still love this deck to death. On to the Vision Heroes, we have 3 copies of our boy Ferris. Ferris is, oh, he's so good. He's so important. Of course, we also have 2 copies of Increase and 2 copies of Vion. This is pretty important because you need to send your Malicious or your Shadow Mist out of this guy. Because we have Malicious back at 2, it's a little harder to open with him, so usually you need Vion to send the Malicious, or you could play Fusion Destiny to send the Malicious if you need to. Thanks to Master Rule 5, you don't need Malicious to make extra link zones, so you can actually save the link climbing for the end of your turn, which is really, really nice. So you can save Fusion Destiny for the end of your turn, and luckily all of the link heroes that you need to make by the time you need to put Mally in your graveyard, they don't require any extra summons after them, so that's the important part. But yeah, Vision Hero package, very, very important, very, very standard for a hero deck. Then we have our Destiny Hero engine. It's a lot smaller thanks to Mally being at 2, so of course we're just playing 2 Mally. I'm playing 1 Plasma. Honestly, if I could side deck any card in the main deck, it would be Plasma. I don't know what I would side him for, but yeah, I mean, I keep Plasma in my main just in case I have to go first. I still play a Dynatag, and now I've seen a bit of a point of contention in the deck being, instead of playing Celestial, you play Draw Hand. I'm still on the side of Celestial, but I can see why you'd play Draw Hand instead, because Draw Hand still gives you the draw, but it doesn't require you to have no cards in your hand, and it doesn't require you to banish cards you might want to keep. Though I can't think of any of these you want to keep after they've already played their use on the field or in your hand. That's why I'm still on the side of Celestial. It's a little hard to empty your hand out with this deck, but if you can do it, you still get the +2. It's still super useful. I suggest playing Celestial, but if you want something a little more streamlined, something more consistent, I would go for the single draw with Draw Hand. Just remember that your opponent does get to draw 1 card off of him as well. It also does put a body on the board, so I can see the pluses, I can see the cons. I just prefer Celestial. Then of course we're playing one of the absolute unit of a $sign. That is Evil Hero at Duster Gold. My copy is German because it was $10 cheaper than the normal version, so I just decided to not pay the extra $10 to $20 for him and Bane. So I got them both in German as a little package deal, so that's why I have them. And then the last 2 monsters I have in my main deck are 2 copies of Nibiru. I main these in this deck specifically. I don't main them in any other deck. I just think heroes kind of need the Nibiru in the main deck. So there you go. On to the spells. We have 3 copies of Emergency Call. Obviously you need E-Call to search out your hero cards. These are your combo starters if you don't open the right cards. Then I have 3 copies of Mask Change. And then I have 3 copies of Fusion Destiny. So these are just the deck's 3-ofs you got here. So we're still playing Fusion Destiny in this deck because it's just, as much as you're doing extra, as much as this deck uses extra elements, Fusion Destiny can be used at the end of your turn, like I said earlier, so that's why we're still playing it. It puts an extra monster on the board, or if you don't want to go for your extra element summons, you could just go for all your dark monsters and use this to just make Dystopia and burn if you want. I don't care. On to the one-ofs. We have 1 copy of Polymerization, 1 copy of Miracle Fusion, 1 Dark Calling, which I'm kind of upset is still not made in foil. We have 1 copy of A Hero Lives, 1 copy of Rhoda, and this card right here, this card fixes the issue of heroes, which is after they've done their plays, they just can't go back to doing plays. We have 1 copy of Pot of Avarice to recycle your cards back into your deck and get back into doing combos and working and beating up your opponent. So yeah, these are just the simple one-offs. But that has been my hero deck profile. If you guys enjoyed it, go down into the comment section below, tell us what you guys want to see next character deck-wise. Go down into the description, check out our Patreon, our Discord, and the playlist for our character deck profiles, which again is the main part of this channel. And hit the button in the center of the screen to subscribe on the spot. This has been Cole from TCG Cardcast. Peace out, guys.